And even if sometimes you mean well, the other people you're protesting against, they try to, disarm you by using authorities and other things. So I think it's dialogue. Once you have numbers, they don't like numbers. Just like I said earlier, they don't like numbers. So instead of protesting, you could, penetrate, different mindsets. And when they see that manifesting, I think that's something that could make a difference. But I don't know. I just feel like Nigeria is not a place where due process actually sees the light of day. You can write 1 million times and the person that you wrote to doesn't even know you're doing. Just like when you submit a CV, you just find it at Mekose's,
table.
So exactly, that is what will happen, because there are some people that would see that paper and it affects them, and they would not want that paper to go further.
For people who don't know what Miyokose is, it's actually a beans cake fryer seller.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you had to choose between democracy and military rule, which would you?
Both have their positives and negatives.
Choose one.
I prefer military.
Okay, you prefer military. Why?
Because there's law and order. People obey rules. Most of this nonsense that is happening.
Under democracy?
Yes, because there are no consequences for actions. People do things and they get away with it. But in the military, you can't go to the barracks even now and try and do nonsense. You know that it's not going to happen. They will not, you don't even start it.
So you were
because there's discipline, there is law, and so you face it.
Yeah.
So people don't try that.
So you were trying to say there are the good sides to both. So would you like to say something about it?
In military, they might say maybe there might be human rights abuses.
That's, or with democracy.
With democracy, sometimes it's even more.
Okay.
Do you understand? Both have their, and everywhere there's corruption. You can't just say it out. But the thing is, we just hope that there are people that have that. Only God knows the mind of a person. So it's really.
And lastly, revolution or systemic restructuring?
Systemic restructuring.
Thank you. So one message to the Nigerian public. Where you go?
Let's contribute our quarter to make Nigeria greater.
Thank you so much. And that's it on Spotlight on today with Honorable Zainab Buba Galadima, where we've touched light so many things. I'm sure you'll enjoy this episode. Many thanks for joining us again. See you again next time. Bye for now.
There's a lot of activity and chatter around her, but Fatima Hina is completely focused on creating her latest henna design for a client in the Swahili town of Lamu in Kenya. An artist from a young age, Hina fell in love with one of the island's best-known crafts, that of the henna tattoo or mendi.
Business yangu ni Hina painting. Hina huwa tunafanya wakati wa season kama harusi, kama Lamu festival hivyo. Ndo kuna wateja mashallah waweza pata ukachora ukapata riziki yako. Hina nilianza nikiwa mdogo nikijaribu kwenye kitabu na alhamdulillah nimeimprove mwenyewe nimeendeleza.
25-year-old Fatima Famwa is another one of the craft beneficiaries. As a teacher at a secondary school in Lamu Island, she supplements her income by offering henna painting during school holidays and days off.
Mimi kando na kufundisha ni hina tu ndo ndo inanisaidia. Kwa sababu pesa hata kama wapata mwisho wa mshahara, lakini wajua mambo ni mengi, maisha yamepanda, pesa haitoshi. Majukumu ni mengi. Sasa pesa ambayo utapata mwisho wa mwezi haiwezi isikufikishe katikati ya mwezi. Ukijipangia vizuri afika, lakini kulingana na mambo sahihi.
Aisha Abdullah Miraj, the County Executive Committee member for Tourism, Culture, Trade and Investments in Lamu County, Kenya, has seen demand for Lamu's henna tattoos explode.
Lamu is known for the best henna artist. we normally have people coming from Oman, Dubai, to seek henna artists from here because they are among the best. We see henna has generated from one generation to another. Before the corn, they used to use a stick. They used a stick and they drew a very good flower in you. But for now, we are in a modern country. We are in the digitalized way, so they use the normal corn.
She explained that a growing number of women are improving their lives on the island through henna art, which is now one of Lamu's top economic activities for women.
Organ donation and transplantation continue to raise critical questions about health, faith, ethics, and the law. In this report, we spoke with an Islamic cleric, a Christian clergyman, a medical doctor, a lawyer, and residents of Abuja. From the religious angle, clerics explained how Islam and Christianity view organ donation, consent, and saving lives.
Organ donation in Islam has seen about two views from the ulamas, and majority of them going that it is halal for a Muslim to donate his or her organ. And organ donation generally can be perceived in two ways. The first being when somebody is alive, and second when somebody is dead. So, and all this has been categorized to be halal based on certain conditions. The first category, when somebody is alive, certain organs in Islam are accepted to be given. And these organs have to be those that will not affect the donor.
Scriptures that talks about organ donation. Okay, you can give organs, yeah. But there are scriptures based on the things, the teachings of Jesus Christ. In John chapter 15, verse number 13, it says, "Greater love had no man than this, and a man laid down his life for his friends." So he showed us that example, laying down his life for mankind to donate body organs, to be able to revive, to save a life. It's okay, by his standards that he has laid for us.
As a human being, I support anything that preserves the lives of other human beings. Anything at all that we will do to save the lives of human beings.
When you talk about this trafficking, this illegal practice, today some people look at it as if it can be a venture, a means of getting rich. And we hear of the unfortunate this thing where they say they take some girls also go and that they take something from their body and then they give them some amount of money, and they also see it as this thing. It's very illegal. It is very wrong. And if the law catches up with you, it is a very serious offense, and you could go into jail for quite a long period of time.
Selling an organ in Islam is haram. It is acceptable for someone to donate a kidney to someone who has a failing kidney, because you are reviving that person. You are giving life to that person. Which a verse in Surah Al-Ma'idah said, وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا فَكَأَنَّمَا أَحْيَا النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. That whoever revives a single soul, a single life, is just like he has revived a whole nation or the whole of Ummah.
Now, it says, chapter 13 of John, verse 34, 35, it says, "A new commandment I give unto you," it says, "Love ye one another as I have loved you." It's okay to donate, but it's not okay to sell. If you're doing it on the basis of what Christ has taught, love, which is the motivation, it's okay.
However, there are other donations. There are other organs like the pancreas. I know that the pig, the animal pancreas is very, very similar to a human pancreas for those that have diabetes. And it is medically advised, that you can transplant, the organ to the human being. It's the right of a patient to choose the medical treatment or to choose not to have any medical treatment. In an emergency, what I described first is in the normal situation. I am having malaria or I have a headache. and I come to you as a doctor and you give me medicine, I say, no, I don't want that treatment. I can go away. It's my right as a patient. But in an emergency, it is incumbent on the doctor to do whatever it takes to save the life of that patient. But I know so many cases where doctors have acted in good conscience and they have got into trouble with the law.
On the streets of Abuja, people shared mixed views, support for saving lives, but also concerns about faith and safety.
If it comes to someone that's related to me, someone that has so much love, be it family member or friends, yeah, I can do that for that person. I can't do that for money, but I can do it for love that I have for someone.
If I want to donate organ to a person, definitely I will donate it willingly, free of charge, without any financial attachment to it. And if there is any sentiment of money attached to it, I won't do that.
I have to answer in the two places. One as human, secondly as a Christian. Human, to be honest with you, I have to do it. Because same way, if it happens, I'm a victim, and I find out that people are not helping me, how do I feel? I feel bad. So as for me, as human, I have to do it. Especially cases like that, when people donate kidney and all that things. But finally, the truth of the matter is, as human, you're up to kidney. Help one another.
There's like girls and even guys, they actually donate for money. They sell their organs for like huge amount of money. Like I can never donate an organ if a family member is not dying. So even if I have to donate to a family member, I have to be sure that my own life is safe, that I can actually work with one kidney before donating.
Hello and welcome to Spotlight on right here on S24 television. Well, you see, every generation has voices that promise hope. Years ago, they stood behind pulpits. Later, they filled conference halls. Today, they reach millions through smartphone. Our guest today belongs to that generation. He speaks about discipline, purpose, faith, excellence, and becoming the best version of yourself. His videos inspire thousands of young Nigerians searching for direction in uncertain times. But inspiration itself has become an industry. Never before have so many people consumed motivational content. Yet, anxiety is rising, depression is rising, unemployment remains high. Many young people know how to dream, but struggle to find opportunity. So today we ask, has motivation become entertainment? Can positive thinking overcome economic realities? Are we building resilient young people or simply teaching them to feel inspired for a few minutes? And what responsibility comes with becoming a voice people trust? Joining us today is a motivational speaker, an author, and youth advocate, Umar Gana, or should I say Umar G? Welcome to Spotlight.
Whichever works best. Zakila Kharzina, thank you so much for the very warm and modest introduction. I'm very happy to be here.
Good to see you today. So let's start by knowing you. Should I say let's peep into the person behind all of these categories of millions may know your message, But before there was an audience, before all the large followers you have on social media, because I can see them, of course. So there was Umar Gana. Who is he?
I think Umar Gana is the same person he was then. He's just going through a different phase in his life. I think for me, looking back to who Umar was, Umar has been on a steady and slow journey of self-discovery. This journey, I would say, would have started from my childhood. I grew up in Namibia, partly Nigeria, Malawi, then university in the UK. So I've had a very dynamic childhood, and I've been exposed to so many different environments. Those environments and the people I've met have all kind of played a part into who Umar is today.
Was there a special experience you had in the past that built the person you are today?
I think, like I said, it's been a single journey with different phases. So how I see it is at each part of my life, there have been experiences and different pieces of the puzzle that have contributed to where I am today.
Okay, so when I talk about experience, was there like a failure that changed you to become who you are?
Well, not necessarily a failure, but I think I'll break it down like this. I've introspected a lot on where I am now, and I've seen so many factors that have contributed to the person I am today. So, for example, looking at my parents, there are so many qualities that I've realized are from my mom, and so many qualities I've realized from my dad. So, with the social part of me, you see the outgoing side of me. Those are all qualities I've nurtured from my mother. And then in terms of being someone who is disciplined, being hardworking, that's something I've nurtured from seeing how my father goes about doing his work. So from my parents, there are things that I've realized I've nurtured based on their own personal qualities. And then when it comes to the experiences I've had, I think, like I mentioned earlier, different parts of my life have shaped me in different ways, starting with, I would say, university. I would use that because that's been a significant turning point in my life. As
Okay, what university are we talking about?
University of West of England. So I went to university in Bristol, University of the West of England. And why I look back at university is because that was the point in my life where I started being a lot more intentional with the choices I make.
You know, all of these opportunities, the university you've been, I'm coming back to that, for you to have come motivating people that are going through a lot that didn't get all of this opportunity. We'll talk about later. But since we're still getting to know you, do you think there are assumptions people have about you that you would like to change today?
Oh, maybe maybe the biggest one would be people thinking I'm perfect. So I think for not just myself, but anyone that posts content about Islam or faith, people put them on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Where, as my friend Shireen would say, no mercy lives there. So anything that you do, people just assume, oh my God, how can this person be doing such and such? But at the end of the day, for not just, again, myself, but anyone who you see posting content about faith, about Islam, about the deen, because they're posting that content does not mean they are perfect. And more often than not, people get too consumed by the person as opposed to the message itself.
That made me laugh because I remembered when Mufti got divorced and all of us were like, why? How is that even possible? So it's all right. But when did you realize your life has become bigger than yourself?
I think still going back to university, I've always been someone that had big dreams. I've always been someone that has wanted to achieve big things and do great things for people. So if I was to give you what my passion is impact. And that's why I go into, or I'm very attracted to the path of entrepreneurship, because that allows you to do things, create things that are valuable and ultimately impact people. So when I realized my life was bigger than me, it's always been there dormant within me. However, university is the time when I started being intentional about bringing out those things that I can start doing to impact people.
You've talking about impact. You've talked about your impact. You never can tell the number of people you've impacted because this is social media. Some might have gotten affected by some words from you that you don't even know of. Who motivates you as a motivational speaker? Who motivates the motivational speakers?
Who motivates the motivational speakers? The best examples of motivation, our prophets. The prophets, our biggest role model, of course, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the other prophets. And ultimately, it's just, for me, it stems from wanting to be the best servant I can to my creator.
MashaAllah. Okay, so you've been linking your success and the kind of person you are today to the university. Tell us what really happened in the university.
Okay, so university was a huge shift for me because the most important thing I can tell you then is I started paying attention to my time. If I was to ask you, Zaina, what is the most expensive currency that we have?
In Nigeria?
No, overall. What is the most expensive currency that we all have in the world? I'm hearing someone say dirham in the background. It's not dirham.
I know it's not money.
It's not
I know you,
dollars.
motivational speaker like you. I know it's not going to be money.
Of course.
Maybe the Quran.
Time.
Time. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Give me the 5 most successful people you can think about.
No, I'm not going to let you switch the table.
Just go along with the example.
The 5 what?
Give me 5 extremely successful people you know.
No, you just give us. So we'll learn
Okay.
from you since you're the motivational
Elon
speaker.
Musk,
Okay.
Umar Suleiman,
Okay.
Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo,
Okay.
Lionel Messi, LeBron James.
But
I've given
don't
you.
you think that is subjective?
It is
to-
subjective, but I've given you 5 different figures that
Okay.
people can look up to as wow, these are people that they would want to emulate.
Okay.
And something you would realize from all of these people I've mentioned and the ones that I've not and us is that we all have 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
What should that tell you? The differences in the outcomes we get comes in the differences in how we use our time. It's just as simple as pouring orange into a cup. You get orange juice.
Mm.
Similarly, wherever you choose to squeeze your time, those are the results that you start to get. And the intentionality for me came when I started thinking about, okay, what are the things that I really want for my life? And how can I work on myself to become the person that can achieve the things that I want to achieve?
Mm.
So I started taking care of my health.
Okay.
I started being more intentional with my finances.
Okay.
I started reading books. I started listening to podcasts, to YouTube. And all of these things are things that collectively contribute to who you become as a person. So that's when the whole journey of self-development
Okay,
started.
so let's move to the actual, act, the motivation itself.
Yeah.
Why has motivation become a massive industry?
Why has motivation become a massive industry? I think there are a lot of things that have contributed to motivation and inspiration becoming as big as it is. Firstly, of course, it's the vehicle itself, social media.
Mhm.
If you've seen how social media has transformed over the past 15 years, there's been a shift in the type of creators and the type of content that is put out there.
Yeah.
So now we see a rise of prominent motivational speakers across the world, the likes of the Ali Abdaals, the Sunnah guy, and so many more. So due to the nature
Apart from
of
these renowned people, do you know we have just random people also coming to social media to
Of
do
course.
motivation? So many people are
course.
motivating and people are consuming this. In fact, I will need to ask you if people consume motivation like they consume entertainment.
I think people still consume entertainment more than motivation.
But what do you think is driving the urge to
The
consume
push?
motivation?
The urge to consume, I think it's a bigger thing than just motivation, but it's more so people looking for vices to go to. I think we live in a generation where we're all overstimulated. So the access to social media in terms of short form content, the rise of the TikToks, the Instagram, has also led to an increase in our need for quick dopamine fixes. And that's why a lot of people are always going to TikTok. A lot of people are going to Instagram. And what is one of the biggest problems we face now in this generation? Doom scrolling. Because we've been so exposed and we've been oversaturated with content that gives instant gratification.
Yeah.
So that has 2 things are in play here. Number one, there's been the vehicle, which is, like I said, the growth of social media platforms. Secondly, there's the accessibility in terms of the more people see creators putting out content that is motivational, the more comfort there is for anyone to start doing it. For example, if you go back 10 years ago, it wouldn't have been as comfortable for people to just pick up the phone, record a video and put themselves out there. But the more they're seeing other people do it, the more that barrier for entry is reduced.
So don't you think the reason why this consummation of motivation is much because of the level of depression, the way life has become? Should that be one of the reasons why motivation is consumed, especially when you're listening to someone that is speaking to your current reality?
Of course, definitely. I think I'm a social media creator, but I think a lot of problems that we face in this generation have come from social media, ironically.
Okay.
So there are a lot of things that influence, especially for people that really, really consume social media a lot. There are many issues that come with that because number one, there's a different type of peer pressure that comes from social media. And the problem that I think a lot of people experience is they do not realize how much social media actually influences the way they think. So that's one of the issues. Secondly, there are so many narratives that are thrown out on social media that don't really necessarily help people, but because it is what they are presented, it's what they take. Thirdly, I think social media has led to a lot of comparison culture. There's a lot of biting as well. So there are a lot of toxic habits that have contributed to the way people interact with social media. But in terms of consuming now, if you're always looking at content that is brain rot or doesn't really add value or consists of toxic things in the undertone, people then are forced to just take what is presented to them. And with the problem we mentioned earlier of doom scrolling, imagine how much non-valuable content that people take on a day-to-day
But
basis.
don't you think we're in a big trouble when people now get addicted to being
I do.
inspired rather than
Taking
being
action.
disciplined themselves?
I do, because like I said to you before we started this recording, I'm the biggest non-advocate for motivation. Because motivation without action is nothing. And I think the biggest problem that people experience in terms of consuming motivational content is a lot of times they fall into a loop of thinking consuming the content is doing something.
This is coming from a motivational speaker.
Of course.
But I'm about to ask you if the success of your motivational speaking is, measured by the numbers of views and likes.
Not at all. Not at all.
So what do you derive from motivating on social media?
I think taking it back to what I was mentioning earlier in terms of our faith, Islam really, really emphasizes sincerity in everything that you do. So for me, it's not about, how many people are going to see this. The very first metric I have is, it's not about the million views, it's about the one view, and that's the view of Allah.
So since we're speaking the truth, and we're standing by Allah,
of course,
is it that you don't make money from social media?
I do make money from social media.
So is that
I'm someone that benefits massively from social media.
Yeah.
But like I said, the way I approach social media is different from a general consumer of social media. So I would break down social media into two. There are people that produce and there are people that consume. If you're a producer on social media, you are a lot more intentional about it because you're treating it like a business. You know exactly why you are there. And a lot of the times, just like how a business person would go about achieving their goals, you are intentional with the steps that you take. However, if you are just a consumer on social media, you're a lot more likely to fall into things like the doom scrolling. If you don't have a purpose, for example, going to a grocery store, if you don't know what you're looking for, what do you end up doing?
Let's move to another segment because I'm going to come back to that because you're in between telling us that, okay, if you're motivating and you're not acting by it, it's a waste of time. But then you told us if you're producing motivation, you're earning from it. So
okay, let me clarify. I don't earn from motivation. I earn from the things I do as a result of my social media presence. Two different things. Most people think that to be earning from social media, you earn from the content that you make, the ad spend, and all of these things.
So what do you earn from?
The people that are actually making tangible money on social media are people that can build a brand, build a social media presence, and then build businesses as a result of those brands. For example, do you know of the brand Prime?
Yes, but let's quickly move in because of our time. Let's move into, because there's no how we're going to come here today and not do some motivations. We're going to do some motivation. So let's move into the segment where we do some motivation. Let's talk about motivation meeting reality. For example, let's imagine two young Nigerians. Both are hardworking, both are disciplined, both are honest, but one succeeds, the other doesn't. How do you explain that as a motivational speaker? Is hardworking always rewarded, or have motivational speakers sometimes simplified life too much? Because it seems some motivations do not meet reality.
Well, I think for the example of the two people you gave, I would give an example to kind of explain the point I want to make. There are two people. They both grew two people. One extremely successful and wealthy. The other one not as successful. Both of them were asked, what led to you being in the position you're in? And they both had the same answer. My father was an alcoholic.
Oh.
What that should tell you is that the type of content you consume, it plays a huge part in the perspective you have on life. The perspective you have has a big part to play in the actions you take. Your actions lead into the habits you build. The habits you build turn into your character. So where does it stem from? Perspective. The point of motivational content is to help you develop a positive and enforcing an ambitious perspective. And if that cannot be translated into action, that's when the question comes, does motivation really help, or does it actually not match with the reality? The answer to that question would depend on the person consuming the content. Like I said, it's a vehicle. It's not the destination, but it's just a vehicle to help you get to the destination.
How do you get to motivate someone trapped in poverty or poor education or no opportunity at all? Because I told you we're going to come back to this. You've mentioned universities you've attended outside the country. That is an opportunity for you that so many people do not get. But you come to motivate people that do not get that opportunity at all.
So, for anyone that is trying to build right now, this is the best time for you to do it.
How?
Because the knowledge that is gotten in universities around the world, this is knowledge that is accessible to anyone. YouTube is a university. Do you pay for YouTube? YouTube is free. If you're intentional about just using YouTube alone, there is no knowledge that you won't be able to access. What do they say? Knowledge is power, is it not? So if you're able to find these resources, just figure out what is it that you want to learn? What is it that you want to do? The information is there, ready and accessible to you. You just have to know what you want to do and go out and look for the information. For you to make your first 1 million to 10 million naira, you can do that from getting free information and acting on it.
Motivational speakers. Don't you think motivational content tend to, blame individual for the societal problem, the societal imbalance? We can see the way the society is. It's not encouraging for development or whatsoever. But you, motivational speaker, you always find a way to make the individual feel like they are not doing enough. How do you explain that? Because we've had Otedola. If you look at his story, you see that his father was never poor. He had opportunity. He had funds to start. For people that do not have that fund, but he comes to motivate. He had a book to motivate people who do not have this opportunity. Don't you think you guys tend to, blame individual for societal imbalance?
I think I can only speak to myself to that regard when I say that I do understand.
That's why I say motivational speakers, all of you.
Yeah, I'll speak for myself as Umar, but I'll say that of course we all know the circumstances that we live in, and that's why we try to be as authentic as possible in the things that we say. We understand that there are challenges, but then within every challenge, within every crisis, there are also opportunities. So what I said earlier about perspective, someone can look at the situation that we're in and think, okay, oh my God, this is the end of it. I can't do anything. Other people will see the same exact economic situation and say, okay, what are the problems that we're having right now? And they'll start innovating. Opportunities like AI exist. AI make it possible for you to do so many things. That is an opportunity that people before did not have. The people like within the generation of the Otedola, like you mentioned, they had access to oil. And then that was the boom that they grew up in. And a lot of people in Nigeria right now made money as a result of that early access. We have things like AI right now. So why don't you look at that as an opportunity? It's there for you right now. And if you are intentional about just putting yourself into that boom right now, you would be surprised where that could take you within the next 5 to 10 years. So there's
I've
always...
mentioned that we have a lot of motivational speakers now as a result of just having so many followers. You see people, boom, they've become motivational speakers. So does just being an influencer make you a life coach?
There are influencers that can't actually influence.
Okay,
So
let's talk about them. Who are they? What influence are we talking about? So who know who we are shifting away from and who we are listening to on social
of course,
media?
I'm not going to point any names. I'm not going to point any fingers. But like I said earlier, I mentioned how right now there's a lot more accessibility in terms of content, in terms of being able to just take a camera and put something out there. So for all of these people, you also can't blame them because they feel like they have a story to tell, and they do tell their story. So if they do end up building massive followership, then that means that there's definitely people that find value in it. If there is no value, people aren't going to follow. But then where is the difference between someone that takes, for example, just anything and they start making content out of it, and the people that don't? It's action. If you feel like, okay, why is this person making story? Take your camera and do it yourself too. If you have value, you will build the audience as well.
Okay, I think you're just talking to me directly because I'm trying to tell you that you're blaming individual for the societal imbalance. So you're trying to tell us viewers, they said, if you're feeling bad about it, take your camera and start your content too.
I think it's more so stop focusing so much on what other people are doing.
Yeah.
And looking at yourself. If you see that this person has a massive followership and is doing nonsense, do the nonsense too. Do something that actually takes you out from the position you are currently in
Yeah,
to where
actually,
it is that you
there are
want to
people
be.
that always look at social media and just blame people and just be like, this person is lying. This is impossible. This can never happen. And, they don't make changes. They just want to blame. So let's
Remember
move
what I
on.
said about comparison.
All right, we are learning. So as a motivational speaker, do you always feel the pressure to appear successful?
No.
Because I think for a motivational speaker, if you're coming to motivate, if you don't look like what you are saying, people don't listen. So that's where the question prompts from. How do you always want to look like in presence of your followers?
Again, just to reiterate, this is speaking from my anyways, my view of who I am online all stems from who I want to be presented in front of Allah. If I look at my online followership, that is something that I'm also going to present in front of Allah. So who I am online and who I am offline, I try to be the same person. Or rather, whatever I post, it's my truth, it's my reality. Or these are the things that I really want people to learn. These are the things I resonate with and I want people to benefit from. So in terms of showing a different face to my followers, that's not up to me. What I try to focus on, what I try to focus on is showing up as my reality, showing up as my authentic self, and how people interpret that, that's not in my control. So the only thing that is in my control is showing up with my truth.
Have you ever changed your mind about something you've been teaching? You come back to reiterate something and say, oh, you've been advocating for this, but guys, it's no longer like that.
Maybe I've not experienced it on a large scale, but of course, we're all prone to making mistakes. And if there is anything that I've posted, I think the smallest example of that is things that I've posted that I feel, okay, maybe it's not the message that I want to convey, and then I end up deleting it. So I've had examples where I post something and then maybe a friend of mine replies, oh, this is what they got from it. And if I see another person text me the same thing, I'm like, okay, if this is how people are receiving it, maybe I can't deny the fact that multiple people are seeing it this way. So it's a problem from the post in itself. So I would take it down and reframe the message to convey what I wanted it to convey better. So maybe those are small instances of what you've just said right now.
Okay, so, young Nigerians are under enormous pressure. Pressure to make money, pressure to succeed early, pressure to appear successful. What part of this concerns you more?
That they're not doing it for themselves. And
oh, you're not bothered about the pressure. You're just bothered about the fact that you're not standing up.
Two things. I think I'm concerned that they're taking the pressure, and as a result of the pressure, they're going into doing things that are not beneficial. That's number one. And number two, a lot of times they're living lives that are not really influenced by what they actually want, but it's more so the societal expectations and the societal outlook of who they are. So that leads to, I think there's this notion of Abuja people being fake.
Yeah.
Why do we have that? We have so many people that are living lives not even for themselves, trying to push to a standard, trying to push to a particular expectation. And that's always going to be an issue.
So we have so many motivational speakers coming to social media to say, at so age, if you're not doing this, you're a goner. So for for you, at what age do you think you've lost it if you did not succeed?
There's no age, because let me give you an example with cars. If you see me driving on the road, are you going to be concerned where I'm going?
No, of course
Probably
not.
not. So it's the same thing with every single person. Everyone is driving their own journey. So because I am at a certain destination before does not mean that you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
There are two names of Allah, Al-Muqaddim and Al-Mu'akhir, the one who brings forward and the one who delays. If you look at the journey of life for every single person, there are things that some people get early and there are some things that people get delayed. Start all the way from school. There are people that finish university early. Some get delays.
That brings me to my last question before we move to our final segment. What do you think about destiny, Kadar? Because you've always mentioned, oh, if you'll find an opportunity in every situation, there will be an opportunity. You might just be missing it because of your perspective. But is it true that there are people who might actually never make it? And is that what destiny means? What would you say about that?
So the decree of Allah is always true. Whatever has been written for you will never pass you. But so let me understand the question. Are you saying
my question is, does it matter if you're hardworking or not?
It does matter, because whatever it is, even for your qadr to come, you have to work. We've seen so many examples of this, and I'll link
So
it.
is it possible to work hard to the end and you never?
Yes, it is possible.
Motivate us about that, because that's very hard to swallow.
It's very hard to swallow, but it's it all comes back to the outlook on life. If we look at what is good and what is bad, people limit their understanding of good and bad to maybe worldly achievement or expectations they have for themselves. And I'll give you an example with money. Let's say I work hard to earn wealth. I'm someone that is praying, I'm striving, and I want to get to Jannah. And then I keep trying for this money, I keep trying for this money, I keep trying for this money, but the money doesn't come to me. Then I realize, okay, perhaps that money I'm looking for, I would have become someone that's pride.
So you try to motivate yourself and take your
No,
mind
let
off
me
it?
let me land. So
No, we don't have time to land though, because we have another segment.
okay, but the point is basically there are things that Allah does not give you, and that is better for you.
So we should just accept that.
No. Second thing, dua can change qadr. So if anything you're trying to work on is not happening, dua can either change the decree / destiny of that thing, and two things need to be in play for that decree to be able to be changed.
Okay, I think this will be another conversation.
No,
for
let
another
me land
time.
on that point as well.
Because
Dua and hard work.
Okay.
Effort
A
and hard work.
combination of dua and hard work.
Yes.
Not just praying and
You can't pray.
neglecting.
You can't pray and expect it to be like magic.
Okay, so let's move to our last segment. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Omar G. This segment, you are allowed to just answer one question, mention one word, no explanation, because it's look like you like to land, but here you don't have the opportunity to land.
Actually, you don't let me land.
So purpose or profit?
Purpose.
Okay. Motivational speakers, discipline or motivation?
Discipline.
Okay. Faith or ambition?
Faith.
Success or peace?
Peace.
Influence or integrity?
Integrity.
Talent or consistency?
Consistency.
Books or reels?
Books.
Applause or impact?
Impact.
Tell me one habit every young Nigerian should develop.
Can I give two?
One. That you're either hardworking or you're praying.
Introspection.
Okay. One myth about success that's to.
You have to be successful at a particular age.
Okay. Now finish this sentence. The future belongs to.
One word.
The future, yeah.
Doers.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. The future belongs to doers. Thank you so much, Umarugana. Thank you for joining us on Spotlight On, and thank you, viewers,
Thank you,
for
Zainab. I
watching.
didn't let you land on purpose.
My name is Zainab Ibrahim. Do have a lovely day. For decades, golf in Kenya was seen as a sport reserved for men, the wealthy and the well-connected. But on the rolling greens of Thika Greens Golf Resort, a quiet transformation is underway. Women are stepping onto the course, challenging stereotypes and building a community where confidence and belonging come first.
I remember I started training just before COVID. I had started showing the interest. But when I walked in, I didn't feel I belonged. I just, in my mind, I was like, I don't think this place was designed with me in my mind. So it was quiet. Of course, it was not shouting that, but it was quiet and welcoming. Like people will stare at you. They will not, they will wonder, who is this one coming from? What are we coming to do here?
That feeling of exclusion became the spark for change. In late 2023, Jacqueline Sirai founded Girls Who Golf on GWG, a growing movement that uses golf not only as a sport, but as a tool for mentorship, wellness, and empowerment.
The Girls Who Golf started 2023, towards the end of 2023. That's when now I fully registered. It's a fully registered society. And the idea was to bring women together, first of all. Yes, golf was the idea initially, but now we've evolved to many other things we do together for wellness, for health. So we also have those things, mentorship.
What began with a handful of women has quickly evolved into a supportive network welcoming both experienced golfers and complete beginners. Golf coach Emmanuel Wekesa has watched the shift happen in real time. More women are taking lessons, earning handicaps, and entering tournament.
Golf was a sport for men, but so far what I'm seeing, it has really changed. And the impact, it's a good thing, because women, they are really playing, they love the sport, because each and every day, at least I get a referral from the different ladies and those who want to start. And I get new ladies, and they are doing very well. And to be honest, I'm happy with them. The progress, they are doing very well so far. Most of them, they have got a handicap. They participate in tournaments, and considering this few years from 2021 and up to now, it's amazing. They're playing, they're enjoying, they're winning.
The movement is already inspiring a younger generation. Through partnership with organizations like Girl Up, girls are being introduced to golf as a pathway to confidence, opportunity, and global exposure.
Invited by Girls Who Golf, Madam Jacqueline, who is like our partner. We're Gala, a UN organization for girls, supporting girls at all. So we were called for the golf clinic, and we were like, oh, why not, sis? We're not that good in golf, so we're here for training and all. And in the near future, with golfing, I hope and wish that to take me like abroad, further my golfing. As golf is not that easy, but okay, there's nothing easy. So you just have an open mind, be ready to learn, and get the best from what you're being given here.
For many of the girls, golf is no longer seen as an impossible sport. It is becoming a space where they can dream bigger.
Jackie is an amazing leader. Working with her is excellent, because she has a way of cutting across from dealing with us who are a bit experienced to those who have never really held a club. And what I love most about her is her soft heart for the underprivileged. And that is why, for me and her, we ride.
At the heart of Girls Who Golf is inclusion. With the seasoned players or first-timers, every woman is encouraged to step forward and take her shot. Across Kenya's fairways, the sound of change is growing louder. With every swing, every lesson, and every new golfer stepping onto the course, these women are reshaping the future of the sports, proving that golf belongs to everyone.
When the pandemic struck, just a few months before the pandemic struck, we had always had plans for television, right? But we now decided, okay, you know what, let's start gradually. But that was when pandemic came and we realized that, no, this is not a gradual thing. This is the thing. We needed to make that move into television. And so we began to create contents for Grandmawura because theater, with the social distancing thing, theater was going to be a challenge for quite a while. And so that was how we moved into television.
In 2013, a year after leaving her pop. Their mission was to raise a new generation of Africans by blending African art and storytelling with tangible lessons on values and leadership. Their strategy was multifaceted, leveraging stories, music, and drama to educate their young audience. Yet, capturing the children's attention required significant effort. A 2020 UNESCO report shows that while local television series in countries like Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire have increased, interregional populations in Africa are still rare. In contrast, there are often stronger collaborations between some African countries and Europe, driven by subsidies from the latter. Khadija Muhammad, S24 News.
Let's have an honest conversation. In Nigeria, when something goes wrong, we shout, the president has failed. But wait, is it really the president's job? Let's break it down in simple terms. We blame governors for issues that belong to local government. And sometimes we don't even know who is truly responsible. So who does what? From your local councillor to the president of the Federal Republic, what are they truly responsible for? And more importantly, what do citizens expect from them? Let's break it down. At the grassroots level, the councillor represents a ward in the local government. Their role is simple but powerful. Identify community problems, sponsor bylaws, and ensure projects reach their ward. But what do citizens expect? Visible presence, drainage cleared, street light working, primary healthcare functioning, which is not their duty. Next is the local government chairman. Constitutionally, they oversee primary education, primary healthcare, markets, sanitation, and local roads. Citizens expect efficient services, not abandoned projects or unpaid workers. Let's move on to the State House of Assembly members. Their job is lawmaking for the state and oversight of the governor. Citizens expect strong laws that improve daily life and lawmakers who question, not just approve. The governor executes state laws and manages state resources. They control education, state hospitals, infrastructure, and security coordination. Citizens expect development, job opportunities, and security. At the national level, members of the House of Representatives and Senate make federal laws and check the president. Citizens expect national policies that reduce hardship and protect rights. And finally, let's talk about the president, the chief executive of Nigeria. The president implements federal laws, manage national security, oversee the economy, and represent Nigeria globally. Citizens expect stability, economic growth, accountability, and leadership. Here is the gap. While the Constitution clearly outlines responsibilities, citizens often expect all leaders to solve every problem, even those outside their jurisdiction. And on the other hand, some office holders forget that representation is not a title, it is a duty. So here is the real question. Are we asking the right people the right question? Sometimes we blame the wrong office. Sometimes we don't question anyone at all. Democracy works when citizens understand who is responsible for what. When you know their job, you know who to hold accountable. If we understand the rules, we ask better questions. If we ask better questions, we demand better governance. And that is how democracy begins to work.
Do you know that when many Nigerians hear the word Almajiri, a familiar image often comes to mind? Young boys walking the city streets with bowls in their hands.
Nigeria's inland waterways are essential to the daily lives of millions. In communities like Unguru in Yobe State, water transport is not a choice, it is a necessity. Yet, these waterways have a long history of deadly accidents. This video tries to examine the recurring risk, the human impact, and what people say must change. On January 3, 2026, a boat carrying more than 30 passengers capsized on the Yobe River while crossing from Adiani in Jigawa State to Garbi in Unguru, Yobe State. State emergency officials confirmed that 25 people died, 13 were rescued, and 14 remain missing.
Exactly around 7:48 to 8 o'clock p.m., we received a distress call from our local emergency responders that there was a boat mishap conveying people from Guri local government area in Jigawa State, specifically Ajiani community, to Garbai in Guru local government area in Yobe State. So when we received the news, we learned that already the boat has capsized and there was need for emergency rescue. So of course, security agencies, the local government, the community volunteers, they are the first responders, while we mobilize our team from the neighboring LGA, local emergency management committees from the neighboring LGAs to go and join.
To Allah da ikonsa ba a samu masu ceto ba, sai da akwai mutum ɗaya da ya je kamun kifi.
They did not receive help early on. Fortunately, a fisherman who had gone out to fish had their screams and raised the alarm. He made several calls. Rescue teams arrived between 1 and 1:30 a.m. We were able to rescue about 13 people, but sadly, we lost the others. We continued waiting and searching and gradually recovered 17 bodies.
These victims were ordinary people, traders, farmers, commuters traveling on a route they use regularly.
Our team moved immediately and through the night up to the morning with the help of the LGA and other community volunteers, Nigerian Red Cross, security agencies, we intensified the search. So in the morning, we realized that the passengers on board are 52, and we started counting losses as early as 6-7 a.m.
That same night, this place was filled with people, male and females, family of victims.
So far, we have recorded 29 deaths, and 13 people were rescued, reviewed in the hospital, and discharged. From the deep dive assessment and reports we have on ground, there are still some missing persons, about 8 to 10.
This tragedy is part of a broader pattern across Nigeria's inland waterways. Over the past few years, several boat accidents have claimed dozens of lives in different regions, often involving overloaded vessels and inadequate safety measures. The repeated nature of this incident suggests systemic issues, not isolated misfortune.
The key challenges we have seen is negligence in terms of the abiding by rules by the canoe operators. It happens around 7:48. That means they have left the neighboring community much late, and by law, every time it's 6 p.m., no sailing should be on waterways. So by 7 p.m., they left in the night after the close of sailing. 2, there was an overloading in the boat. And 3 there was not a single life jacket. So that has compounded the whole challenge, and it has increased the risk of capsizing of the boat.
Most river transport in rural Nigeria relies on wooden boats. These boats are often handmade and maintained through repeated patching. They were not designed for modern demand or heavy loads.
Jirgin mu akwai wanda yake ɗaukar mutum 50 ma a wannan bakin ruwan. Amma a wannan ranar Allah da ikon shi gaba ɗaya mutanen da aka ɗauka mutum 30 ne.
Our ships can take up to 50 passengers, but on this day it was carrying just 38 passengers. But it was already destined that the incident will happen, and some people are saying we carried bags of potash. That is not true. They were just bags of chaff, and that is not enough to capsize the boats. Even on small boats, we can take about 5 bags. Talk more of just 2 bags of chaff in a large boat.
Boat operators and passengers frequently admit to overloading, especially during market days, festive seasons, and harvest periods.
The boat is usually overloaded and the boat is already old.
So when they are coming in the river, the boat initially has been taking maybe 20 to 30 persons for it to be full. But at that time they do overload, where they're supposed to carry 30 or 20 people, they come carry 39 to 40.
Muna tunanin da wanda ya zamto cewa suna da rai da wanda suka rasu a cikin wannan jirgi dai mutum.
We are assuming that the total number of people inside that boat were about 40. People are saying they are up to 50 and all sorts. Truly, that's not. What we witnessed was that amount, 40. Also, we lack working equipment. Even when such incident happens, we wouldn't be able to control it.
Abubuwan aiki wanda ko da hakan ya faru idan a ce muna da wannan abubuwan ba za mu samu wannan matsalar ta kai haka ba.
Regulation and safety oversight for inland waterways are the responsibility of the National Inland Waterways Authority. At state level, the Ministry of Transport is expected to enforce standards and ensure compliance. In Nguru, however, those agencies are largely absent.
As government, we can't continue blaming the victims. We live and wake up and do the right thing and improve on where we think we can improve. And one of the measures His Excellency Governor Laboni has taken is to ensure that the rescue has been intensified to recover bodies whether dead or alive and ensure that befitting burial has been given to the families. And that has been done for the bodies that have so far been rescued.
What we need from the leaders is, at least when passengers come, supposed to be there is an authority that will say, at least if the boat at least will take 10 to 20 people, supposed to be the number of the people that anybody will take is limited, is specified, and there is at least anyone must wear their life jacket.
If you teach the community, if you tell them to own their safety, own their security, they will take it seriously. So our job is to sensitize them, let them own it, let them know the consequences, let them see the implications of doing ABCD and the benefit of avoiding ABCD. So these are things that we will do, and these we have already initiated plans. Our other departments are deploying that. We are discussing with our partners from the United Nations organizations to come in and key in and support and make sure that we didn't create a gap in ensuring that the community have owned the process. Next week will be a market day. They will still go to market in Jigawa State, and God forbid, if we didn't act fast, there will be risks of putting our people on a boat without life jacket, and this is avoidable, and we'll inshallah avoid it.
For communities along the river, water transport supports livelihoods. Fish and agriculture depend on river access. Traders use boats to reach markets. Students cross rivers to attend school. When water transport stops, the economy stops. The river is a major crossing point because there is no bridge, and people rely on boats every day to travel, trade, and access basic services.
I have an intimate friend that also became late during this accident. Also with someone I attended same primary school with. He also died. We are seeking for help from the government, governor of the state and chairman to bring us ease regarding this water transportation, even if it is a life jacket, that when you fall inside the water, you can help yourself out.
They should provide us better modernized boats. The ones that are faulty are wooden, so we can continue our business with other towns.
The question asked, those in the government, whether they capture such places and the budget for bridges since the inception of democratic rule. Are these people not part of the electorate in Yobe and Jigawa State? Over the last 25 years, is there no resources on the coffers of the government? Why has nothing been built for this community?
The government have almost everything. If you see people going into the water, it's with the intention to catch fishes. The origin of this place, it's for fishermen or hunters and farmers. We've never witnessed this much incidents.
I am sending my condolences to life lost as a result of the accident that happened in Adiani to Garibi. May God forgive the life lost.
Residents say the risk is not only real, it is repeated. What they want is not just reassurance, but real changes that make daily travel safer. The river remains a lifeline for communities like Unguru, but the recurrent pattern of waterway accidents shows that the current system is not sustainable. The question is not whether people will continue using the river, but whether they will be able to travel safely.
This is Political Arena on S24 television. Welcome back from that break. I am your host, Abubakar Turaki. As President Bola Ahmed Tinubu marks his third year in office, many Nigerians are reflecting on the country's progress, challenge, and the future of leadership ahead of 2027 general elections. The 2027 election will be another important moment for Nigerians to decide the kind of leadership they want. Citizens will be looking for a president who can address the issue of insecurity, improve the economy, create jobs, and unite the country at large. Today, we will be discussing the quality, vision, and leadership styles Nigerians should consider when choosing their next president in 2027. I am joined by a public analyst, Dr. Akin Pahunda. Doctor, welcome to Political Arena on S24 television.
Thank you very much for having me. Good day to you viewers.
It's a pleasure to speak to you, Doctor, for the first time.
Thank you very much.
So, Doctor, recently the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC marked 3 years in office. How can you assess the quality of leadership under this APC as a Nigerian and as a public analyst?
When you get to position without preparation, mentally, psychologically, you are not sure of your job profile, job content. We cannot be but where we are now. The president, on the day he resumed the thing, just says subsidy gone. It was not based on some panel that have prepared a blueprint on if I remove subsidy,
what is going to happen?
What is happening next? And then milestones and things to be done. It was not specified, just a slogan. When you run a whole country by a slogan, what are you going to get? And the meaning of it's so unfortunate that we don't even know the meaning of the word that we use. Okay, this week now, President Tinubu said he approved 1,000 forest guards.
To rescue.
What is the meaning of a guard? You guard a property that is under safety. Property have been looted already. You are not appointing guard.
So it's beyond the approval?
No, they thought the term guard. What are they guarding now? People are already been taken away.
This place.
If you guarded the people in the last 1 year, people will not be able to even come and take anybody away. So the idea of using guard is a misnomer. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I understand you are heading to.
It is now salvage crew that is supposed to appoint, not a forest guard.
Doctor, from what you are saying, you are totally disenchanted with the level of how this government is operating virtually in all aspects of security.
We're talking about for 2 years now, state police. Some governors were pulled, national, they do something, they appointed the committee under DSU now to produce a blueprint. What does it take? There have been so many commissions, but the bottom line is that it will appear to me and to Nigerians that the president does not want to any state police. He wants to be in control of the police as a means for him to prosecute the next election. It doesn't show that he has sincerity or purpose. I must say with respect. It's just playing with words. They are doing reform. Reform what? Reform with debts. A normal human being will live within your means.
Okay,
why are you to be borrowing?
Sorry to cut you short, Doctor. What lessons should Nigerians learn from the current administration ahead of 2027 elections?
There is no lesson to be learned. We are just marooned. We are now maybe 12 presidential candidates.
From different political parties.
So small enclaves. Tinubu is already won. He has already won because he has 31 governors to dispense money. People are hungry.
But Doctor, if you are talking of incumbency, we saw what happened at 2015, how the incumbent president lost the election, which was former President Jonathan.
There were two serious parties then. Now we have one party and then 15 cronies that can have no organic relation with people. See the primaries now. They are just bots. They are just counting 140, 200, 1,000. Is that democracy? So they call it, the same people are recycled. Are we not tired of seeing Atiku? Are we not tired of seeing Peter? Are we not tired of seeing Donald Duke? These are the people, the political class in the country. They all have the same tendency. The tendency is for them to just take over our affairs, loot our system, buy SUVs, borrow money. Okay, we have 3 budgets now. Which budget is Nigeria operating? None. Who is talking about education? The 2 loan. You gave loan now to students. When they finish, how would they get jobs? Where are the factories?
Null fund.
Yeah. You take 5-year loan, you are now owing almost 3 million. And
but they made a statement now, everybody can have access to school.
School for what? The people who have got the school, have they gotten jobs now? The people have gone to school, who even paid their own money.
Well, the federal government have been advocating for a paradigm shift from depending on degree to skills.
Which skills? Do they have skill centers anywhere? You see, at university now, 304 universities, all the business admin, economics, literature. They are not doing technological skills. Even if you are trained now as a tough line engineer, where is the job? Where is the job? All governments have been sold up and killed. Ajakuta is dead. Iwope is dead. Jeba Mill is dead. What is there? There is no avenue for you to get jobs at all. No avenue at all. No avenue. Inflation has ravaged everything.
So you mean Nigeria is actually on a ticking time bomb?
Well, human nature, we are resilient. We are surviving. We will continue surviving. We're in survival mode for many years to come. We're just surviving. I mean, somebody living on minimum wage now. Even you're a director, you are being paid 300,000 per month, and you are paying rent 4 million per annum. They're just surviving. We are stressed. Everybody is stressed. You are buying petrol at 1,400 naira. A full tank is 80,000. Petrol alone, at least 1 tank a week. You have 300,000 petrol. Everybody is quiet. Everything looks quiet. But we are on ticking bomb.
Doctor, let's shift a little bit from politics and speak on security. We recently saw how the southern part of the country was being under attack. We saw attack in places like Oyo, Kwara. Do you think that it has a political reason behind that attack?
No, you see, everything, no single factor. But you must know that the last 3-4 years started from Borno. It came to Kaduna, it came to Benue, then it came to Niger, then it came to Kwara, then it came to Oyo, to Ekiti, it's going to Lagos. So the whole country will be enveloped. Once you have wound and you don't treat it, it will become septic. You understand? Basically, Nigeria was wounded from Borno State, northeast, and the wound is been...
It has engulfed the entire country.
Yeah, and we have been saying, state police, no state police, state police...
So, Doctor, what can you say about the strong delegation that was sent by the president and 1,000 forest guards?
It's fake delegation. You bring Bayamila with Agbada, with security advisor with full white dress.
Doctor, we saw the strong delegation which comprises of Minister of Defense, National Security Advisor, Chief of Staff to the President, presidential aides, and many more.
It's the fake way we run our system just for opportunity. You need to send only a colonel who knows what to do. You need to rescue people who are in the forest. At most, you send a colonel quietly to go and deal. What is Babamila doing with Agbada, with white dress, spotless? It's just photo. They are not interested in solving problems.
But doctor, they have taken a step forward.
No, that is a step backward because okay, they have gone now and they've come back. The captives they are now 2 weeks in captivity. What is the import of people going? It's just delegation to go and show off that Tinubu is serious. As I said, a colonel with equipment to detect where people are being held hostage is what you need to send there to rescue. Is when Miller go to is on their rescue mission? No, they are to shake the hand of the Shah and cry with the people like Makinde for your state, and then what?
So the families need more than sympathy.
They don't need produce results. For the opportunity to say you are hugging somebody who is distressed, who are not eating.
Okay, doctor, due to time, at someone that has worked in this country, you saw the leadership of Obasanjo, Eradua, Jonathan, Buhari, and now President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Ahead of 2027, what message do you have for Nigerian youth in ensuring they vote for the credible person that can salvage this country?
Voting, a cycle of coronation of leaders, recycling of leaders since 1999 is a journey to nowhere.
It's a journey to nowhere.
To nowhere, unless we change the structure that enables somebody to be the winner take all. For you to pay for all the money, to pay all the primaries, and you have to recoup your investment afterwards. That's not a system that can reward the youth. It's not, absolutely. The president will win because he had all the money, 31 states. Look, they pulled 800 billion naira and gave it to Hope Uzodinma to keep.
Doctor, these are all allegations.
But it's not been a government. If something happened today, tomorrow you will quickly deny it.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I have to draw the curtain of this show.
Thank you.
It's really a pleasure speaking to us here on S24, and I believe we are going to send you for the invitation.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Pleasure.
Thank you so much for speaking to us here on S24, Doctor. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must take decisive measures in keeping our country safe and governable. And that is all what we have on S24 Political Arena. Stay tuned for our S24 documentary. Bye for now.
Youth are supposed to be united and focused in the sense that we're the leaders of tomorrow. In fact, we're the leaders of today.
Yes, no more tomorrow.
Today. But our testing ground is this particular council. If we cannot manage a youth council, how could we be trusted with the nation.
Hello and welcome to Future Minds, your weekly deep dive into policies, politics, and the people shaping Nigerians' future. My name is Emir Osman Adam, and I'm your host for this amazing show. Today we'll be looking at the issue of the NYCN, which is National Youth Council of Nigeria, and the factional leadership that has evolved in it. Due to that factional leadership, the federal government has to step in and create an interim committee that will manage the affairs of the organization, from creating leadership to forming partnership and discussing issues that will promote the Nigerian youth forward. I'm here with the interim committee chairman, who will be introducing himself in person of.
My name is Barrister Buhari Ibrahim Shehu. I am the interim management committee chairman of the NYCN.
I want us to discuss and see how will the IMC manage the affairs of the council, which is for 1 year, organize leadership elections, how will you collaborate with the Ministry of Youth and other ministries to see that overall the goal is to promote youth participation or the welfare of Nigerian youth in general. How do we even get to this place we are in? What's the rollout that made NYCN become this functional within the years?
Okay, as you rightly observed, NYCN used to be a united front for Nigerian youth, where policies that affect the youth directly or indirectly are being championed by the council, where the council serves as a bridge between the Nigerian youth and the government, where several various youth organizations have been affiliated to work hand in hand with the NYCN. Unfortunately, I may say due to natural greed.
Should we call it personal interest?
Personal interests, yeah. And human desires. A lot of problems erupted, wherein we have factional leaders, each one claiming to be the president of the NYCN. This problem does not stop at the national level, but goes down to state levels, where state chapters of the NYCN also have factions. You have this particular chairman, another chairman, another chairman. Unfortunately, an event happened in one of the countries where a youth program is going on, and Nigeria's president of the council was called upon, and 3 people emerged.
Stood up. Exactly.
Yes, and that was an international embarrassment for Nigeria.
Yes, and I think the minister had to interfere before one person was allowed to represent.
So you see, it doesn't give a good image of the youth.
Yeah.
It doesn't give a good image of Nigeria.
The country itself.
Sure.
Exactly.
So youth are supposed to be united and focused, in the sense that we're the leaders of tomorrow. In fact, we're the leaders of today.
Yes, no more tomorrow.
Today. But our testing ground is this particular council. If we cannot manage a youth council, how could we be trusted with the nation? So there are a lot of this leadership crisis and constitutional aberrations, where the constitution is being manipulated. Each president or each acclaimed president changes the constitution as his own whims and caprices, to suit his own interests and to suit his desires. So this has become a very serious problem that threatened the very existence of the council itself.
And I think that's the reason the IMC come in.
Yes.
And that is where you're playing your role as the chairperson.
So to solve these problems, there is need to come in. So there are a lot of petitions and counter petitions being tabled to the Minister for Youth Development, and he presented them to the Corporate Affairs Commission, who registered all corporations in Nigeria. And if you look at sections 8, sub 1, C and D of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, you see that the Registrar General is given the powers to serve as a supervisor for all registered institutions. And where there is this kind of problems, he is empowered to withdraw the certificate and set aside the trustees and put in an interim management committee doing the necessary thing. So we are brought on board with a mandate that first and foremost we should manage the affairs of the NYCN for a period of 1 year. Secondly, we should look at the constitution of the NYCN and see where there are lapses and loopholes, make amendments, and then conduct free, fair, and all-inclusive elections.
From the moment you were called the chairman of the interim committee, definitely there are people that might see it as something necessary, and others might see it as you interfering in the affairs of the organization, of the council exactly. How do you handle those particular critics?
So far, we have received a whole lot of goodwills from various, at various levels, various organizations, both private and public. Factually, I have not received any condemnation so far.
That's good.
I have not received any condemnation. I have been receiving words of advice, guidance from senior stakeholders in the council. And based on this, we are very, very much optimistic that even though we may not say everybody will like the decision, but so far, it has been accepted as a welcome development.
NYCN is very good with controversy when it comes to elections. As the chairman of the interim committee, what are you trying to do differently to see that, like, maybe if you're to come up with any election, what are the concrete mechanism you think you put in place for a free, fair, and transparent process?
You see, elections naturally come with their problems.
Sure.
But with proper arrangements, being fair and giving each and every aspirant a level playing ground, I'm very sure we will succeed in giving up free, fair elections. So on our part, this is just like less than 2 weeks after our inauguration, but we have kick-started. We have an election preparation committee on ground. We will inaugurate them very soon so that they will look at what is obtainable, what is the problem on ground, and then how do we achieve a free, fair election for the NYCN. Taking cue from other national bodies like Ghana and other countries, we'll take cue from them and see how we'll conduct free and fair elections for the NYCN.
The major reason for the problem was someone altering the constitution of the council.
Yes.
Like, is there anything done to agree to their earlier suggestion? I know it wasn't suggestion, but let's look at it as a suggestion of increasing the age limit from 35 to 40, or is not something that will be considered?
You see, it is something that we consult.
Sure.
We have to do a lot of consultations. If it will serve the best interest of Nigerian youth, we go for it.
If it
won't, then we'll have to look for a better alternative.
The Nigerian youth will be seeing it as like 35 is very limited, because so many of the youths will not even be starting to understand what exactly are they going to put on the table, or what exactly are they going to contribute until at their early or mid-30s. If it's limited to 35, there are so many people that will feel they are sidelined, or they won't even get the chance to participate in this particular process.
Left for my mind, anyway, this is my personal feeling.
Yeah.
I don't think that is
an excuse.
Yes, it is not. Because if you look at it, we have leaders at 21, 27. We have seen great leaders. There was a difference between 35 and 40.
Five
Yes.
is a big number.
It's a big number, but if what a 40-year-old man will do, a 35-year-old person can also do.
Sure.
They are still within the same bracket. So it all depends on the mindset. It depends on the preparedness of the person in issue, not the age. To me, age does not matter.
There are reports of like internal crisis, or let me say internal resistance from some former council executives who are like feeling sidelined